just, as of late, I just got pretty tired of situationship-like behavior from myself and from others, so I'm not gonna just put it on them, I'll put it on me as well. And enough was just enough, and I friend-zoned everybody that I was talking to, whether it was romantically or whether it was we started off as something romantic but then put a pause on it, and was saying to come back to it later, but then I said let's actually not, because my feelings are different, so any date that I probably had lined up, I canceled it by friend zoning, because at the end of the day I feel like, based off what I've experienced, so I guess wisdom is what you could say, I feel like dating is a game, or can be, and so when people are playing the game, they're playing a character, they're playing the representative for most of the game, but they're not really being themselves. And I really do my best, or I try to do my best this time around to really be myself. And it just was irritating me in my spirit that I just wasn't feeling like I was kind of getting that back from some people, like authenticity or just integrity. Like when you say you are interested, why aren't your actions matching that? It just doesn't make sense. And so, ultimately I saw it as, well, for one, I just have to, I think that was my stomach, don't mind that. Anyway, body just doing body things. I'm not gonna apologize for it. But anyway, I just came to the point of what? I just want to be about me right now. And not saying I wasn't about me before this, but I just need to take a step back, because I'm not feeling this. This is causing stress. This is causing anxiety. It's overstimulating. And I cannot maintain this. I can't maintain this. And so I feel like I started to kind of see people's true colors when I friend zoned. But it wasn't just friend zoning, it was finally just being the first person to say, you know what, this is just not for me, we're not compatible, or I don't see you that way again, we're not compatible, because I had a pattern back then as an anxious attachment specifically, and probably even as an avoidant attachment style. I probably would be feeling things, but I did not bring it up, but the other person would break it off with me instead of me being the one to break it off. And so I said this time around to myself, I said, I'm gonna finally be the one to do that and take the courage and just move forward and say something this time around, and not wait around and not avoid until the other person, if the other person ever would say anything. So if anything, I'm proud that, I stood on business with my word, and I really am a recovering avoidant attachment style. I don't know if I'm the fearful avoidant. I have to do some more research, but for sure, recovering avoidant attachment, for sure. Avoiding conflict and things like that. But I did my very best to basically lay everyone down so gently while still getting my point across of this is just not, it's just not it. And I just feel more at peace. But one thing I will say, I'm looking at my notes, so give me a second. I'm taking a step back from dating, although I'm considering to just quit it altogether. This is why. I feel like the reason why I need to relationship is to them, and I took it on as my thing and started to date from their perspective and from their eyes, and I don't really feel like I had the chance to develop for myself. I didn't get to really understand or learn my own dating style. That's what I would call it, my own dating style. And I'm not mad with myself. I am very, very aware that this is a part of the upbringing, with Disney, and I still love Disney to this day, so don't get me wrong with that, but that's just the truth. And, other stories and other images, with music videos but specifically social media for sure. So it's like I'm at this point where it's like, what would life look like, if I could just date the way I want to. But I'm gonna add another layer to this, because this is also where I'm at. I'm kind of split a bit. Okay, I'm a little split. So I have that part of myself, right? But then I have this other part to myself that's like, you know what? I want to know what it feels like to live a life where I am just no longer yearning to be dating or yearning to be in a partnership, yearning to be married, yearning to whatever, be booed up, all that kind of stuff, right? Be in a relationship in that degree, to that degree. I say that because something I saw on TikTok really resonated in my spirit today. It really spoke to me, like I really felt seen. And let me know if you feel the same way or have felt this before, but like I'm tired, like I'm so tired of feeling like I can't fully be present when I'm experiencing something, say like a concert or going to a show, little travel, to another town, or something as small as going to do an errand. Anything, kind of almost anything, especially when I enter a new space, having a new experience, right? I'm so tired and over my subconscious being so hyper fixated on, am I going to meet my person today? Am I going to meet my guy today? Am I going to meet my man today? It's just really, for when it's overwhelming, but also I just realize how much it just takes my peace away. Like it's like a damper. It's like a wet blanket. It's a killjoy. And I'm not gonna lie, it makes me feel like a fucking crackhead. It makes me feel like a crackhead, not gonna lie. And don't get me wrong, I love romance. I'm a hopeful romantic. But like I said, the focus right now is reshaping and living my life from a place of romance without the fixation of having a partner to be in the picture with me for it. This whole episode is in layers. Just so you know, I'm talking about different aspects of myself and how they feel about this, perception or perspective on romance for me right now. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm just tired of going to a restaurant or being with friends, being with family, whatever, and being like, oh my god, am I gonna meet the love of my life today at this very moment at 10:02 p.m. at the bar? It just takes me out of the moment. And not only that, when I am with loved ones, it's taking me out of the moment with my loved ones, and that's not fair to me, not really to them, but that makes me sad. There is a whole puppy here. I live with my mom and she has a puppy, but technically I also help raise him, so I'm, I guess co-parenting in a sense, but anywho, or co-caretaker or whatever. We just got him in February this year, and he's growing up so fast, and I hate it. I love him, hate it, but sometimes I would find myself just zoning out, thinking about when am I going to meet my partner, or scenario, a daydream, a fantasy of us. And he could be in my presence, maybe looking at me, or I'm taking him on a walk and I'm listening to something about romantic relationship or relationship advice or dating advice or whatever the hell. And it just, again, it makes me sad, because it's like, here he is in front of me, this beautiful being that I really am deeply in love with and care about, and yet here I am mentally just gone. But not only that, with him, with myself, I noticed, I've gotten better at this, but I've noticed in my past how I noticed that my drive to do certain things or to go certain places was in pursuit, in hyperfixation pursuit of a partner, of a man, of whatever. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to this restaurant in hopes of finding my man. Oh, I'm going to pick this hobby up in hopes of coming off as more attractive and intriguing and interesting. And I would hate when I would hear in the back of my head, in my subconscious, oh, this would be great to put on my dating profile if I had one right now. Oh, this would make me really look good. This would make me really look attractive, intriguing, interesting. Oh, I would get a swipe right for that. Oh, look at how interesting I am. I hated that, because I'm not living for them. I'm living for me, and I deserve to choose interests, hobbies, passions, travel, whatever it is, because it's my heart's desire, because it comes from me, not so I can go report it online and basically try to make myself more attractive, make myself desirable. That was basically it. Yeah, making myself desirable in this fish, this bait. Yeah, basically putting myself as like some kind of dating bait. And it's like, that's when I knew something was unhealthy, because it's like, why in my downtime, why am I in my mind thinking this way? Where did this come from? Why am I hearing this kind of pattern? I don't really hear it as much now, thankfully, but I remember distinctively for some time this year, maybe last year, maybe even for a few years, I don't know, but I would have waves of experiencing that mentally in my subconscious, and it just was not pleasant. And I wouldn't say it was like pick me vibes, but who knows, maybe it was, and I'm not ashamed to say that. We're gonna be honest here. So, I don't judge myself for it, but I do not love the feeling of yearning. I really don't love it at all. I don't. And so, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of forgot what this section was supposed to be about. I think we were talking about the other side of me is like, what would life, yeah, okay, now I remember now. The other side of me wondering, gee, I wonder what life would look like if I just really lived from my heart, in regards to it's my heart alone, you know what I mean? Like, it's not my heart and the other heart, like that's a partner's heart. Okay, I feel like I'm making that confusing. Anyway, what would life be like if I had no yearning for a partnership, if I had no yearning for a romantic partnership in particular? That's what we're talking about, right? What would life be like? And I feel like that would just be so peaceful. I would be able to be so present. I would be able to actually enjoy my hobbies. I would be able to actually enjoy my interests. I would feel like I could really actually have room for Khemi, have room for myself. And it doesn't mean I don't believe, let me clear this up. This does not mean that I do not believe in romantic partnership or divine connections. That is not what I'm saying. If anything, I am still 1,000% a believer, and I think it's because I'm such a believer, like an unwavering believer in that. That's why this other part of me is like, well, why date, Like, just being honest, why nobody could talk me out of that. No matter what social media probably tries to say, I believe that deep in my spirit. I know it to be truth. And so because, or if I know this to be true, why would I act this way in my subconscious, basically? I mean, obviously because I'm human, but like at the end of the day, I'm pretty tired of this loop. I'm pretty tired of this loop. I'm pretty tired of this cycle. And I'm not gonna lie. Part of my past, for sure, was using daydreaming, specifically about guys. When I would be at jobs at the time, not now. I don't do this anymore, thankfully. But when I was younger, like way younger, when I would be in certain spaces, like work or somewhere I didn't want to be, I definitely used my imagination to escape and just go into that land of hyperfixation on romantic partnership or the crush that I was really infatuated with. And it just kind of helped me disassociate from not wanting to be at the job or not wanting to be at whatever. And again, thankfully I don't do that now, but I feel like it's kind of related in a sense. And one other thing I will say is, like, the other reason why I just want to take a pause from dating, at the very least take a pause, because this is all experimental at the end of the day. I am a firm believer in I can change my mind. I'm human. I can change my mind. I can make a different decision, right? So I know this is experimental. I don't know how long this is gonna last. It doesn't really matter. That's not the point. The point is to just block out. The point is to block out the chitter chatter that I let make decisions for me in that part of my life, and became very distracting. And yeah, had some pros here and there, but like as a whole, it's like, why do I keep finding myself here? So I don't remember what I was trying to say. Anyway, it's about that time, because it's literally probably my bedtime anyway. I'm gonna try to wrap this up. Let me see if I have anything else on my notes. Thank you for tuning in to the show that does not have a name yet. Well, the series that doesn't have a name yet. But I think I actually brought up just about everything. But I think the one thing I will say, I look forward to actually just seeing who people really are when they're not having the date face on. I guess that's what I would call it. The date face. Who are they actually? That's what I do look forward to. And embracing community. And just having a level of focus of being more in the moment, but keeping the balance of, like, just because I'm choosing to go this path does not mean I do not believe for it to be true for me, because I know some people, this works for them, this does not work for me, and I learned that, and that's okay. I'm not about to be inauthentic, but I already tried it numerous times. But people giving up in the sense of, like, you know what, there's no one out there for me, and that's okay. I'm just gonna be single is like, I deserve and desire to live my life like it is a romance novel already, but just without the partner, and not feeling incomplete because they're not here yet. Not feeling like I have to yearn because we again talked about the truth that I feel in my spirit that I know is mine, that cannot be taken away from me, that it is true. So why yearn? Why yearn? Why surround myself with yearning energy? So my challenge for me, actually tonight, I actually went ahead and finally returned some library books, and I think it was two or three of them that were either romance novels or had a lot of romance in it. And I really made a promise to myself that I just need to take a step back from seeing too much romance in my environment. So I'm really proud of myself that I removed those books, and I wasn't really able to enjoy them when I read them or come back to them to read because I felt too much yearning. Like, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. It's kind of being like envious of fictional characters, and it's kind of sad, you know, but like at the end of the day, I deserve better, so let me give myself better. Again, this is all experimental. This is not to convert anybody to do what I'm doing at all. I am just simply sharing something that is just so on my heart, because it's really a journey of self-discovery. It's a journey of self-love, and also a journey of self-respect as well for me. And it's about, like, at the end of the day, I deserve to live a dope life. I deserve to live a dope life. I deserve to go to that concert and not try to force a romance story on myself by trying to, like, search the crowd or look at the performer and try to have them fall in love with me. Like, or I can go to the store and not try to, like, have that subconscious thought of, like, oh, am I gonna meet him today or the one today or whatever the fuck. No, like, I deserve the peace of, like, I'm at the store, I'm here to pick up pickles, I love my life, I enjoy this moment, whatever, you know. So, you know, we all deserve that, not just me. We all deserve that kind of peace. And I'll leave it with this. I remember, it kind of goes with what we're talking about, but I forgot the guy's name, but he's the author of The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. But he was talking about how, like, before he met his wife, he had, like, he described it as this analogy. He said he had, like, this program in the back of his subconscious. So the analogy is like, think about your computer, right? You have all these tabs up, and it slows the computer down, and all the tabs up, but you specifically have this really big storage heavy software on there, like, say, I think he said Photoshop. If Photoshop takes up a lot of space, it can slow the computer down if you have all these tabs and the Photoshop. So he said his hyperfixation on when he was single, of, like, oh, when he would go into a room, even if it was, like, for work, just into a room, he's like, okay, where are all the hot girls at? Where's the one girl at that I'm gonna take home, that I'm gonna, like, you know, win over, the girl I'm gonna take, you know, whatever. Just in any space, not just, like, work. And so, you know, he said it was just so distracting. It was just so cluttered in his mind and his subconscious. So he said that kind of attitude, that kind of thinking, that kind of fixation was the Photoshop and making the computer slower. But he said when he met his wife, it's like that Photoshop and everything else that was, like, the unnecessary distractions just went away. He felt at peace. I'm not saying, okay, the point of the story is not to say go get a partner so you could close the, you know, annoying subconscious tab out your back of your mind. Sorry, we almost got out of ASMR. We almost went to regular talking. My throat is kind of dry right now, so we gotta wrap this this up soon. So anyway, he was saying, what I'm trying to say is, I brought that story up to say that, you know, what I took away from it is that it is possible to actually not live from that place that he was talking about, that he lived when he was single. And what I am talking about, and have talked about this whole time, of having that Photoshop just up there, just taking up so much space and slowing down the computer, and taking this and just being distracting from the moment, and being so ego driven, you know, imbalanced, all that kind of stuff. It's like when I heard that, I was like, that's what I want for myself. That kind of peace. The peace as though I already have the partner, without putting the emphasis that I have a partner, if that makes sense. Like, I just have the peace. You know, I have the peace, the safety. I think that's really the key here. Feeling safe in my heart. Feeling safe in my heart, and feeling safe in the present moment. So that's what I feel like I took away from his story, to be that peace for myself, and to just be mindful about what I'm consuming media wise, even down to books, movies. You know, for right now, what I'm feeling intuitively to do is, like, again, in my environment, I'm seeing less and less romance, if any at all. It's actually really, it's actually more challenging than I thought, because of my social media, but I'm doing the best that I can, and that's what matters. So let me know if you're also on this journey. You are not alone, and I commend you if you did choose to go on this journey. Again, you deserve it. We deserve it. And yeah, I just wanted to come up here and rant a little bit, but like, we got this. And you know, at the end of the day, like, we deserve to live a life that we really do love. And this is not an anti-romance, you know, podcast episode or whatever this is. It's not that at all. This is just about, in order to really live, just letting go of that yearning and that desperation, and getting rid of that, you know, that program in the subconscious that's just taking up so much space and overshadowing all the other things that are so important that are happening right now. And honestly, if it's your route to just go the route that I told you about the other people where it wasn't for me, do you, if you feel like you have to take it to that point of surrender and letting go and giving up, cool, good for you, whatever works for you. It can't work for me. It's just not for me. But yeah, on that note, I'm gonna say peace, love, and light. I take care. Thank you for tuning into episode 1